Okay, welcome back after Edward Hughes. Right, we're going to go straight now to the streets of Makerfield. We are the only channel that is going to be able to do this today because Ofcom says that all of the other channels, the broadcast channels, cannot do what we are about to do, which is to speak to the wonderful, the brilliant Jaymey McIvor, who is there in Makerfield. Wow, and so is his hair, by the looks of it. Jaymey, your hair looks lovely. There he is.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. And I tell you what, it's been an amazing morning in Makerfield. I tell you something, I think the Westminster bubble has really misunderstood what's going on in the whole country, actually. You know, Keir Starmer is the most unpopular Prime Minister in living memory, but actually, you know, Burnham is hardly King of the North. And people around here that I've been speaking to this morning, they've been so excited to go and vote. They really have, Russell.
What do you think the turnout's going to be?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure what the turnout's going to be, but like, I've got my Reform FC football shirt on, and I'm sure that's going to make sure. Thank you. See, just by standing by the side of the road, Russell, I'm getting so many people tooting because I've got.
That's because it's you. Got nothing to do with the by-election. It's because it's you, Jaymey.
I don't think it's just because it's me. I very much think it's because of the football kit.
So how's it feeling? I mean, generally, because obviously, look, the polls are saying it's very, very close. The betting odds, as I was just rehearsing with Sophie here, less so. They say that it's nailed on for Andy Burnham.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Westminster bubble wants people to think that, but I think what's very clear to me is that in the country at the moment, people have had enough and they want change, and Nigel Farage is the man and they want to vote reform. You know, Andy Burnham has had the advantage of being the mayor of Manchester, although to the people in Wigan, that's not been seen to be much of an advantage for them. I mean, just look where I am now, this old newsagents, you know, all closed up and derelict, a very frequent scene that we see across the country, where communities like here have been completely forgotten. So I think that Burnham is not the man he's been making out on his leaflets. And actually, one thing we've seen throughout this campaign, his campaign's not been very serious. I mean, we've got young girls in this country who are frankly in danger because of illegal migrants crossing the channel every single day. You know, places like Essex, where we're from, Russell, we've seen exactly what happens when those men are allowed to just walk freely in these communities. And, you know, Andy Burnham's been delivering leaflets with his favourite songs on. You know, the guy's not serious.
And but Jaymey, can we just go back to the condition of Makerfield and Manchester generally? You know, Andy Burnham is making great stock of the fact he's been a fabulous mayor. Everything's been great, and he's, you know, rebuilt and promoted Manchester so that it's now a kind of powerhouse of the northern economy. But judging by the streets behind you, he's failed, hasn't he? I mean, it looks disgraceful.
Yeah, I think, and the locals really comment on this. They comment on their high streets. They comment on the fact that this is like many parts of the north of England, a place where people are really house proud. And you look at their front gardens; they're very proud of, and they do everything they can with their own lives. But the politicians that have been representing them for, you know, here in Wigan, you know, over 40 years of Labour on the local council, and look what you see for it. So I think that there's definitely a feeling of betrayal from locals here about how they've just been failed by politicians, and they desperately want change and they desperately want reform.
And what do you think about the news this morning that Rebecca Shepherd, the Restore Britain candidate, was not allowed to speak by Rupert Lowe's Chief of Staff yesterday? That seems mighty odd to me, to put up a parliamentary candidate that's not allowed to speak to the media.
It's their first by-election. You'd think they'd be really excited and keen to show the country what a Restore candidate can do for them, and instead the poor lady's not allowed to speak. I mean, I kind of feel sorry for her, but they're just not a serious outfit, to be honest with you, Russell.
Well, and talking about not serious, tell me what's going on with the Conservatives and the Greens and the Liberal Democrats up there. Are they polling at more than 5% between them all?
Well, yeah, the Greens, I mean, their candidate, she had a good go on the media rounds. At least she's allowed to talk to the media. And as for the Tories, well, I'm yet to meet anyone that's voting Conservative in this constituency. I mean, they are just frankly an irrelevance now. It's actually quite unbelievable, because they would have had a share of the vote not too long ago, but they've just completely evaporated into nothing.
Yeah. And just talk us through what happens later on tonight. So the polls close, just for those that don't know, at 10 p.m. I guess you'll be at the count, will you? With a lot of other reform dignitaries, no doubt. When do we expect the result?
That I don't know. Obviously, it'll be in the early hours of the morning, I assume. And what will happen is people have got until 10 p.m. to vote. It's really important that people obviously do vote, Russell. I can't express that enough, especially in places like Essex where we've had our elections cancelled. When you get the chance to vote and tell the government what you think of them, you must do it. And I encourage everyone to do that. And of course, I encourage them all to vote Reform. But the results will be declared. And of course, there's 2 other by-elections taking place today in other parts of the country as well. So I'm sure it'll be very interesting to see how parties do in those elections too. So it's a very interesting night for British politics.
Yeah, I know you're itching to get back to the streets and to knock on doors and get that vote out, Jaymey, but your friend Sophie Corcoran wants to say something to you and say hi.
Hi, Jaymey.
Hi,
I mean, it's probably the first time, I've known you for a long time, that I've seen you in a football kit. No, look, Jaymey, I have a question for you. If Reform do lose today, have you failed?
No, not at all. I mean, the sheer fact that this is a 2-horse race between Reform UK and Labour in Andy Burnham's backyard, in Labour's backyard, says how much as a party we've progressed. I wouldn't see it like that at all. We did very well here in the local elections. This election is completely different, kettle of fish, of course, being a parliamentary by-election. But no, I think what you'll see is an exceptional effort from Reform UK with a brilliant candidate. And one thing I think we have done, whatever the outcome of this election, I think we've shown Andy Burnham up in his backyard.
And one more question. You notice about the Conservatives not really getting any votes. Isn't that what you want? Because if you want to unite the right, surely, it's not worth... Surely the Conservatives here have done the right thing by not flying a good campaign in order to give you a greater chance of winning. Isn't that what you want? Because that's not what Restore are doing, and that's what you're criticising.
Personally, I don't want to unite the right. I want to completely destroy the Conservative Party and seize it to not exist anymore, which we're close to. And I want to see Reform UK be the right and take over the right and have complete domination of it. I really don't see how anyone would want to see unification with a party that betrayed this country. And I was a member of it and proudly was a member of it. But as we can see, the cracks of the devastation that the previous government has left on this country in places like Makerfield, we cannot, with a conscience, encourage any kind of collaboration with the Conservative Party after what they did to Britain. They destroyed this country. We have open borders. There is no way. I want to see Reform UK replace the Conservative Party altogether. And more importantly, I would love to see us completely remove Labour. I hate socialism more than anything.
Jaymey, I'm going to let you go because I know you want to go back to the doors and do what you're there to do, which is to, have a happy conclusion from your point of view to weeks and weeks of campaigning up there. Jaymey McIvor from Reform UK, thank you very much indeed. Right, Sophie, wow, okay, again, we are the only channel that are doing this. You wouldn't see that on Sky or ITV, the BBC, Channel 4, I could go on and on and on. The kind of... the vibe on the street. I mean, Jaymey McIvor would say, wouldn't he, that it all feels great and that...
I don't think he looks... I've known Jaymey McIvor for a long time and I don't think he looks as confident as I would have expected he did if they win.
Could you tell? I'm not sure you can tell. I mean, look, he's bound to... And if we had had, and by the way, you're welcome to come on, a Labour politician or a Liberal Democrat politician or a Conservative politician, or maybe not the Conservatives extolling the virtues of confidence in today's by-election because I think they're polling at 3 or 4%. But anyone, particularly Labour, would say exactly the same thing, wouldn't they? They would extol the virtues of their vote and their policies and why it's very important to elect Andy Burnham and so on. And indeed, lots of people will vote for Andy Burnham. I find that quite astonishing, given the backdrop that this vote is taking place on, which is 2 years of a Labour government that has failed Britain, in my opinion, and many people will feel the same.
This is why it's so crucial to Andy Burnham, because this isn't a by-election of Labour versus Reform. This is a by-election of Burnham versus Reform. This is all about Andy Burnham. It's not about Labour at all. And this is why he's taken such a huge gamble, because he's made it all about him. He's made it all about his ambitions to be Prime Minister and whether he runs the country. And if he loses, his career is dead. There is. I don't think there's any coming back from this. He keeps his mayoral seat for 2 years and that's it. I think if he loses, I think he has to resign the mayoral seat. Personally, I think you have to resign the mayoral seat. I don't think you can look at the people of Manchester and say, I was ready to basically screw you all over, cost you hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds for a by-election because I wanted to progress my own career. And now I've failed, I'm just going to come back and pretend nothing's happened. Either way, he has to resign as Manchester Mayor because he's made it quite clear that he doesn't want the job, that he doesn't respect the people of Manchester and the people that elected him previously enough to see out the term, and that he's willing to put himself first over the promises that he made to them. So regardless of whether he wins or not, he has to resign as Manchester Mayor, and if he doesn't win, his career's dead.
I'll bet a lot of money that he doesn't, because I'm afraid there's one thing in common with many, many politicians, which is they put themselves first
Yes.
before both party and country.